Close your eyes and allow the breath to settle into its natural rhythm. Feel the field of awareness expand around you, as though the very atmosphere carries intelligence and presence. Sense how conscience awakens when truth rises into view. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is Codex Æternum, the Rational Bible, a work shaped in dialogue with the living universe, revealing a phronopsychic reality, an intelligent and conscious cosmos expressing itself through evolution, through history, and through the awakening of human conscience.
This program is endorsed by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia exclusively dedicated to authors, a living archive where writers and thinkers are immortalized through literature. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of our enduring legacy.
We now enter section 5.4, the judgment of the wicked. A great stillness spreads across the land. The people gather with clarity in their eyes and steadiness in their breath. Secrecy fades like mist beneath the morning sun, and consequence steps forward with quiet authority. Those who once ruled from shadow feel the ground shift beneath them as the collective memory of the people rises into voice. The streets fill with solemn unity. Crowds assemble with composure and dignity. A tribunal of conscience forms, guided by truth and sustained by shared remembrance. Its authority springs from lived experience and moral awareness. It answers to the wisdom carried in generations, to the testimony etched into land and body, to the voices that once carried pain in silence. The powerful stand before those they once directed from afar. Titles hold no weight in this hour. Fortunes offer no shield. Influence finds no purchase. They face the gaze of those whose labor built their towers, whose trust fed their institutions, whose wounds shaped the very language of the charges spoken aloud. A parable circulates among the gathered multitudes. A ruler constructed walls around his throne and called them protection. He polished them with praise and lined them with ceremony. One day the people entered through the gates with calm steps and steady hearts. They carried mirrors in their hands. The ruler looked and saw his own reflection framed by the ruins of his design. Understanding arrived in a single glance. So it unfolds in this hour. The tribunal gathers evidence shaped by lived experience. Witnesses speak with composed authority. Documents surface from hidden archives. Recordings emerge from sealed vaults. Testimonies converge into a tapestry of truth that spans decades and crosses generations. Each charge carries the gravity of history. Exploitation stands exposed. Manipulation reveals its structure. The poisoning of soil and water finds voice through farmers and children. The enslavement of spirit echoes through exhausted workers and forgotten elders. The theft of truth appears in altered narratives and erased names. Every act forms a pattern, and every pattern receives articulation. The accused offer explanations with measured tone. Their words drift across the square and dissolve in the weight of memory. The gathered people hold silence with disciplined attention. In that silence, clarity sharpens. The story of power unfolds in full light, and the meaning of consequence emerges without rage. The people move with purpose. They seek justice shaped by ethics and guided by collective remembrance. They speak the names once buried in obscurity. They restore identities erased by decree. They bring forward records long suppressed. History stands upright, no longer bent by manipulation. The verdicts arise through deliberation. Some who misused authority enter exile, carrying with them the lesson of separation from influence. Others release their wealth and lend their hands to the restoration of land and community. A few step quietly into the margins of a world that continues without their command. The sentences express balance. They reflect proportion. They embody consequence aligned with conscience. The trials enter record. They form a living archive preserved for future generations. Children will read these pages and understand how power distorts when conscience sleeps. Communities plant trees in memory of those harmed. They rebuild homes with hands guided by intention. They gather around new fires and speak openly of the past, weaving remembrance into wisdom. Balance returns as dignity finds ground once more. The chapter of deception closes through accountability. Healing steps forward with measured grace. The people walk onward with clear hands and steady hearts. They uphold responsibility as the foundation of a new civic life. They cultivate institutions shaped by transparency and guided by service. The wicked meet the light of truth, and their influence dissolves beneath its radiance. The people rise through strength drawn from memory and integrity. The tribunal completes its purpose. Reckoning transforms into renewal, and yet the movement of history continues. The next chapter opens beyond human courts and civic gatherings. It reaches into the deeper rhythms of the earth itself. For when imbalance stretches across generations, the cosmos responds with its own language. In the coming episode, we enter Chapter 6, The Wrath of the Cosmos, beginning with 6.1, The Fire That Burns Without Ash. The earth inhales. The skies darken with purpose. A fire descends as remembrance embodied in flame. It follows the pathways carved by imbalance. It clears what no longer belongs to the future. Forests ignite with ancient heat. Mountains release energies stored through ages. Cities feel the breath of elemental correction. Flame becomes teacher. Heat becomes messenger. Light becomes the instrument through which purification unfolds. The reckoning of humanity now meets the reckoning of the planet. Conscience and cosmos align. What was judged in the square now resonates in the soil and sky. A greater fire prepares the ground for a deeper renewal. The path continues,